somebody who's a professor of engineering cannot repair his car. That is idiotic. It is foolishness. Africa will focus on theoretical science. So we need to start thinking about STEM right from primary school. If that man was in Nigeria or he was somewhere in Africa, he will never be able to develop the skills that can make him an astronaut that will go to the moon. If you are a politician and you want to be rich, you can do the right thing and also be rich. Doing the right thing and becoming rich are not mutually exclusive. Even if you want Chinese and Indians to come and set up factories here, Nigerians should have a reasonable percentage of those shares. I said it in my book that there is no country in the world that was industrialized by foreigners. I cannot go to India to do any road in India or any contract for the Indian government. Neither can I go to China. Impossible. Drive on the highway, drive along the streets of any city. You see convoys coming at breakneck speed, rushing to nowhere. You think they are rushing to a meeting where they are going to sit down and say, okay, how do we generate electricity in Nigeria so that we can use that electricity to produce finished products because we have gas? Such meetings don't happen. What do we plan of? How do we win this state? The election is coming. If this guy is there next time, he will disturb the other man, and I want that man to be there. So how do we get rid of this man? And they call that one some kind of political engineering. Barbadash. I've said it on multiple occasions. Let me repeat this here again now. We need a one-party state, a one-party country. So all this waste that we deploy into election and deceive ourselves that we are really doing an election will be set aside for something that is very constructive. Think about it. The money you spend to manipulate election, you can use it to start a plant that can generate electricity in the South, and you put factories there that will manufacture things, that will employ people, we bring in expatriates, we come and train our people. We now have transformation of technology, transfer technology from white people in America, from Chinese in China, from Indians in India and Japanese to come here and teach our people how to manufacture these things. We need to know how to do that. That man that is on that rocket heading towards the moon is proof positive that black people have the intellect to do it. If that man was in Nigeria or he was somewhere in Africa, he will never be able to develop the skills that can make him an astronaut that will go to the moon. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. With the resistance that Iran has offered so far against America, it proves that even if you don't have the ability to manufacture things, if you can assemble, you are making a direction. You think if America were to bomb any country in Africa, after 3 hours, they will surrender because we don't have confidence in ourselves. But Iran is beginning to show that even if you cannot manufacture things, if you can assemble, because they are able to assemble drones, eventually you see that the intelligence that we have in us will start manifesting. Confidence will start manifesting in us. But today, all we do are all the wrong things for all the wrong reasons. Let me shock you. If you are a politician and you want to be rich, you can do the right thing and also be rich. Doing the right thing and becoming rich are not mutually exclusive. It doesn't mean that the only way you can become rich is to impoverish the country, is to do all the wrong things. That is foolishness. Let it be known that becoming rich the way you want to be rich, I don't have anything against that. I want to be a billionaire in dollars if I can do it. But you don't have to destroy the country to achieve that. You can build a combined cycle turbine that can generate electricity that we can use to manufacture things, that can give employment to people in Nigeria, that can create jobs and also give government tax revenue. And at the same time, you'll be rich. The mistake that is happening now is that people in power believe that the only way they can be rich is to impoverish the country. One other advantage you will get if you have one-party system is that the party will determine who is the president. It will determine who is the vice president. It will determine who is the governor. So that fear that you always have, that if somebody becomes rich, he will challenge you. He will become an obstacle to your dream to become governor or to become president. or to put anybody you want in power. When you have a one-party system, all that trouble disappears. And then you can now be able to do whatever you want. Make anybody president, make anybody local government chairman, without having to engage in what you call political engineering. So we can focus on the real engineering, the genuine engineering, the engineering that can transform science into technology, that can design things, and we can use technology to manufacture what we consume. You know, last time I talked about STEM, I said that Africa will focus on theoretical science. So we need to start thinking about STEM right from primary school, right from kindergarten. Germany, they do 50% theory and 50% practical. So STEM stands for science. Of course, you know the sciences, physics, chemistry, and biology. And mathematics is there. I count mathematics as one of the sciences also that you use to communicate in science. Without mathematics, they cannot go to the moon because you have to do a lot of calculations, calculate how much fuel you are going to need, calculate the velocity at which you are going to escape the Earth's gravity. So STEM is science, is technology, is engineering, and mathematics. That is what countries that are manufacturing things, that's what they focus on. So that you don't have a country where somebody who's a professor of engineering cannot repair his car. That is idiotic. It is foolishness. We need to have a focus. That is my message, to have a focus. We already have the largest population in Africa. We have the largest gas reserve in Africa. We have the largest oil reserve in Africa. So what is missing is a wrong system of governance, a wrong direction of government. The only manufacturing that is going on here, because actually the Chinese are making ties here. They are making, they don't make formaldehyde, they don't make resin, but they bring in resin here and they make particle board, they make ceramic ties, they make aluminium. They are producing multiple products here. But the factories are owned by Chinese, are controlled by Chinese. The advantage that Nigeria is deriving from Dangote is that Dangote is a Nigerian. His children and his roots are well planted here in Nigeria. So whatever profit that he makes remains in Nigeria. Whatever technology that is available remains here in Nigeria. But with the Chinese and the Indians, they control 100% of their factories. It ought not to be so. Nigerians are supposed to own those factories, and the Chinese will work for us. Even if you want Chinese and Indians to come and set up factories here, Nigerians should have a reasonable percentage of those shares so that the control of the economy will be in the hands of Nigeria. I said it in my book that there is no country in the world that was industrialized by foreigners. Africa, Nigeria will be industrialized by Nigerians and Africans. That is the only way forward. If there's crisis here today, what happens? The Chinese, they get on plane and run away. Dangote, because of his investment, has nowhere to go. It's either sink or swim on the Nigerian ship. And that is me also. I, Dr. Caesar Saheni Yayi, and my family and my children, we either sink or swim on the Nigerian ship. The politicians, the moment there is crisis, they jump on the next plane. They have dual citizenship. Their money is already there hidden. They jump on the plane and run away and leave Nigeria and us to our problems. I want to summarize by saying you are in government. I'm not criticizing you. I'm going to tell you to wake up. You are spending so much money on election. You are wasting it. You are giving so much contracts to Chinese. You are wasting the money because the money is disappearing. It's not true. It is a fallacy that Nigerians cannot do construction. It's a fallacy. It is a wrong idea. There are Nigerians that have the ability to do good roads, to do good bridges, because the areas that we do not understand, we bring in expatriates. Let us be in charge of our economy the way we are in charge of government. We should also be in charge of the economy. And the way to do that is to encourage Nigerians. Contractors are not being paid, but the Chinese are being paid. The Lebanese are being paid. But Nigerians are being marginalized in our own country. Think about it. What is the end game? I cannot go to Lebanon and get a franchise to sell Coca-Cola. I cannot go to India to do any road in India or any contract for the Indian government. Neither can I go to China or any Nigerian for that matter to go to China and collect a road contract to be doing roads in China. Impossible. What we are telling the world is that we don't have confidence in ourselves. If you are in government, I want you to know that there are Nigerians in the quantum here that can do whatever it is that the Chinese are doing, or that the Lebanese are doing, or that the Indians are doing. What is missing is direction. What is missing is capital that will come on the cheap. Their countries give them capital at single digit. Here in Nigeria, we're talking about 36%, 40%, and it's not even available because government is borrowing so much money from the banks that they don't have any money to give to the private sector anymore. What if we are able to transform our economy gradually into a manufacturing country? Imagine, look at an aeroplane. The British or the Airbus one will cost over $500 million or $700 million, 500 million pounds or so for one. Apart from the engine, what else do you think is on that plane? Even the engine is aluminum. Of course, not aluminum. You have very powerful alloy that can withstand more than 3,000 degrees Celsius, whereas iron will melt at 1,900. So at 3,000 degrees Celsius, the alloy, there are special alloys. But apart from those jet engines, what else is special about the plane? How much aluminum do you think you have on that plane? That when you take aluminum sheet, you make the fuselage, you make the wings, you make the vertical stabilizer and the horizontal stabilizer and all that. How much aluminum do you think you have in there? That suddenly, from aluminum that's selling at about $3,000 per ton, it's now $500 million. What a quantum leap. You take a car, for example. How much iron do you have in the car? An SUV probably will be about 1.5 tons or 2 tons. On the international market, that's about $600. But when you take that iron, you make an engine, you make a gearbox, you make the chassis, you make the body of the, you have something that you have transformed from raw material end of about $600 or let's say $1,000 suddenly to $50,000. You see the quantum leap? That is my message, that we can transform our economy within the next 20 years into something that will be so great that will begin to have respect. Right now, black people have no respect in the world. You are deceiving yourself, you think they respect you. For purpose of civility, they say, oh, we are human beings together. But do we do the things that make us human? No, we do not qualify because we import everything that we consume. The challenge is for you and for me also, and for everybody that's black and African. Anywhere you are, you're an African as long as you are a black man. The challenge for us is to wake up and have a direction. God has given us the resource. God has given us a great country of 250 million people. We now have the challenge to make things great. I remain your advocate for the industrial development and manufacturing of Africa, a process I continue to insist will begin from Nigeria. My name is Dr. Caesar Osaheni Yayi. Until next time, bye-bye.